All right, welcome back. This is the Ergo Benjamin here. We are back with the good mic. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ergo. We've recently been seeing that giant pump that we've all been waiting for. So I am super excited. I hope all of you are super excited about this. Personally, I think that we could see a lot of sell pressure as time moves on, right? Miners are moving over to Ergo, but we're also going to see the same effect in reverse, right? We might not see the right ratio of investors to sellers. And if the sell pressure is higher than the demand, we're going to drop price fast. Because these people are going to be paying bills, they've got electricity, families, all those different things, and they're going to sell that Ergo at whatever price they can to basically liquidate themselves in order to pay for those things, right? So if we're looking at it purely from a macro, micro, we're doing decent, right? In the long run, this is just a temporary pump, and realistically, we are still a long ways out from where we should be, right? Looking at these numbers, it's just a small, steady decline, right? But we also have to remember that Bitcoin was also at a serious peak here, and that we're basically following Bitcoin at the end of the day. We're not following anything else besides that. These recent pumps have just been kind of unrelated, and we know that because of the mining and ETH moving to proof of stake. Whether that is a play to sell the merge, basically selling or building hype all the way to a certain catalyst, probably before the merge, and people start selling all the mineable coins and assets. Maybe even Ethereum drops down super low just because people get confused about what the merge actually is. There's still some people that think we're getting 100k TPS, all these different things that aren't promised until ETH 2.0 actually is a thing. Because that's what it really is, right? It's about ETH 2.0 and not really the merge, right? So looking at it, like I said, there's a lot of crazy stuff that's happening, and it's fun to watch it and talk about it, and yeah. Taking a look at Sky Harbor, there's a lot going on here too. The NFT scene is kind of on a stagnant pause. People don't really know where the future of Ergo is. I've talked to people in Discords, and a lot of them are saying we're going to the moon. They're a moon boy. And then you have the people who are bearish, and I'm kind of right in the middle. I'm not really selling or buying. I'm just staying where I'm at. I don't really know where the future of Ergo is right now. I know that long term we're going to be green, and maybe that's the only thing that you should be concerned about is the long term. But in the short term, like I said, until we see what the investor to seller ratio is, I'm just not super confident about it, right? And I think a lot of this is a play on the merge, right? I think people are going to sell on that point because it's a catalyst. That's why we're seeing jumps in Polkadot. That's why we're seeing jumps in Cosmos. All these different coins are all trying to take point in that proof of stake concept. And with ETH not being proof of work anymore, they're basically all on the same front, right? The only coin not really doing well is Solana. Solana's in the dumps. They're focusing more on a shoe store than they are on the coin, so it's bad. But enough about that. Looking at the ENFT space, there's a lot going on, right? Anita Angels still number one. I think right here we are seeing a decrease every week. I don't expect them to be first next week on the collections list. I expect the goats to move up to that point, or the Ergonomes to move up to that point. As far as everything else going on, we have a lot of the Ergo clay tails being sold. 100 volume here, but it's weird because there's 25 cards, right? Total, but how many cards is here? There's 10 cards left, and for some reason, I guess there's other cards here too. 10 cards left, but 10 times 25, the math just isn't adding up, I don't think. Because we got 25, 25, 25. All right, so they've been out for a while. The math does add up. never mind. But I think we could see them move up a few positions or not. It all kind of depends. Ergo Sapiens, really not on board, I guess. I understood their mint quite well. I never actually did get an opportunity to mint one. It was just too busy. And I like the Gundam look, though. I think that's what they're going for, is Gundam. So maybe he's a Gundam fan, and that's cool. If you don't know what Gundam is, basically robot warriors. So very, very cool stuff, right? Ergonomes, I've been kind of getting less and less confident about the Ergonome space. I mean, as art, they're very, very cool, but as a rarity table and a collection basis, I think they're getting a little bit out of control. There's just kind of different Ergonomes for like different things everywhere, and it doesn't seem to be as structured as Ergo Goats is, right? So I guess a good way to describe that is like, I know what the set amount of Ergo Goats is, but with these gnomes, it's just kind of like different things popping up all over places, and it's a little bit of a different volume strategy maybe. So it's a hard strategy to nail. You have to have a very, very demanding market, but we're just not seeing that right now. So it's not really doing super well. The bubbles, on the other hand, are doing good. Those get sold every day, so those are doing very, very well. Yeah, let's talk about the goats, right? So there's some nice looking goats on here. A few tatted up goats. We have a guy that collects those. So yeah, there's a lot going on. So there's even thoughts about having these passes, giving them utility. That's like the huge move here, I think, is giving these passes utility so they can actually do in-game functions, such as, just enter the game, I guess. But, there'll probably be some type of goat marketplace, I imagine. Or not. Maybe it'll just stay on Sky Harbor. But these will give you extra utility as time goes on, which is the plan, right? Otherwise, besides that, I don't really have any criticisms right now. I do have to see the game, and the sell pressure is weak. The demand is weak all across Sky Harbor, so it's going to be one of those things where until we see that demand really spike, I really don't know what NFT space is really doing the best. Just looking at it from my own perspective, I think it should be, obviously the angels have utility, and then the goats, and then I would say once the mummies get the game, they'll have quite a bit of utility too. Ergo Champions is doing something a little bit different with their NFTs. The dev, I believe it's Minnow, who's in charge of that, is kind of doing these things where you buy NFTs, and then for those NFTs, they're acting as a ticket for a giveaway, which is a decent strategy. And I quite like it. It gets a little bit of volume onto other projects, and helps out all the artists in the space. But at the same time, wouldn't it just be better to give people ERG, kind of like Dumb Beans did? I don't know. That's just a thought, I guess. And maybe to holders, maybe it should have been taken as a vote. But the way things sit now, it's kind of like you're giving ERG towards getting another random NFT that really might not be worth value and might continue to degrade in value as it gets closer to the giveaway. And if you're wondering how that's different than what I'm doing, is it's basically because I'm not really giving you any money. I'm giving you free money, basically. I'm giving you a goat. I mean, that's $100 value as is. So make sure to enter that, by the way. Everything else looks good, though. This Walrus DAO is kind of interesting. Bro on Chain is kind of interesting. Bubbleheads has got some crazy utility coming up. Cyber Citizen. Oh my god. Cyber Citizen's utility is going to be crazy if they can pull it off. Siberia Estates could be bigger than Sigma Valley. Could be. Keyword could be. Honestly, if goats get a metaverse, it's all over. I mean, goats will be the center, right? Ergosaurus are doing well. Like I said, Ergosaurus collection is actually one of the collections that I quite like a lot. This should be the strategy that Ergonomes is going for. but they're just not delivering. I think, like I said, the demand is not reaching where it needs to be. So I think Ergosaurus is doing it right. Ergonomes, man, I'm saying Ergo a lot. Ergonomes is kind of just, I wouldn't say all over the place, but it's definitely an art play. The demand's just not there, and for that reason, there's a lot of sell pressure. So I fully expect those to go down over the next couple of weeks. Really just hitting certain points and people buy them up, right? Ergosaurus, on the other hand, doing super, super well. A lot of cool stuff going on here. I feel like the project's pretty well balanced. The dino eggs kind of give me the sense of like a gnomekin approach kind of to the Ergonomes. Could be a cash grab, could be a cash play, but there is some utility traits there, and they do have some utility, so I don't think that's really the case. These heads are really, really cool, and yeah, that's all I can really say. So that's all I have for you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video where we talk about Ergo and whatnot. So yeah, have a good day, evening, night, wherever you're in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.